Okay, this is an add-on to the beginning of this video where I misspeak on a couple of occasions. I talk about 122 degree reading, which is in one of the headlines, and 153 degree reading, which is in another one of the headlines. And then I misspoke and said 82 degrees Celsius when in actuality, this guy takes a reading of 89.4 degrees Celsius off the hood of a car, which equates to 192 degrees Fahrenheit. Don't let me lie to you. It's not an 82 degree reading. It's 89.4, which equates to 192. 82 is only like 175. Either way, you touch that hood at 175 or 192, you're getting burned. And this is a new phenomenon due to the weakening magnetic field, which doesn't shield out as much of that solar radiation. So this is an add-on to a video I've already made where it talks about 122 degrees in China, and here you see it says 158 degrees Fahrenheit. On the bottom right it says 158 degrees on the ground. One guy shows 82 degrees Celsius, which is 179 degrees on the surface of a car hood. White cars, a certain temperature, gray cars, a little hotter, black cars, 82 degrees Celsius, which equals almost 180 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll leave links in the description to this channel, China Observer, so you can watch the full videos, where they're using lotus leaf face masks to shield themselves from the sun, like the movie Code 46, which we'll talk about here in a second. That's classic. That's classic. Shout out to Apocalypse Walker, who left me a link to this video in the comments section, and there is some plasma fire related and plasma fire adjacent content to this heat wave they're covering in China, including trees burning from the inside.
I'm not great at geography, but is Wuhan on the equator? How can it be this hot? I've only been outside for 2 hours.
The solar-powered streetlights caught fire on their own. It's terrifying. The flames just kept getting bigger.
Only been outside for 2 hours.
The solar-powered streetlights caught fire on their own. It's terrifying. The flames just kept getting bigger. Setting the highest temperature in the country this year. Shanxi has also been grappling with extreme heat, with temperatures nearing 50 degrees Celsius. The dry, hot weather has caused several trees to spontaneously catch fire. There's still fire inside. It still has fire. We'll need more water to put it out, though it probably won't help. Do you think a cigarette started it? No. A cigarette wouldn't light this tree on fire. It's strange for a tree to catch fire like that. Even residents' quilts, which had been left out in the sun to dry, caught fire. A sparrow.
So you heard them say in the translation that it's still burning on the inside, but when they're looking at the base of the tree, it's not as obvious as when they're showing you this limb, this branch right here, having smoke billowing out like a chimney coming right out of the branch right there. So these trees, and they said several trees have combusted, and I can tell you right now, they've all combusted the same way, from the inside. And at least the Chinese are smart enough to know, no, a cigarette can't cause that.
Extreme heat, with temperatures nearing 50 degrees Celsius. The dry, hot weather has caused several trees to spontaneously catch fire. There's still fire inside. It still has fire. We'll need more water to put it out, though it probably won't help. Do you think a cigarette started it? No. A cigarette wouldn't light this tree on fire. It's strange for a tree to catch fire like that. Even residents' quilts, which had been left out in the sun to dry, caught fire. A sparrow. Temperatures. Regions like Shanxi, Henan, Hubei, and Hunan have been the core hot zones, with some areas experiencing heat index temperatures above 45 degrees Celsius, suffering from extreme temperatures. Regions like Shanxi, Henan, Hubei, and Hunan have been the core hot zones, with some areas experiencing heat index temperatures above 45 degrees Celsius.
So just like the previous video clip that showed a bunch of power poles with the solar panel on them burning, we have the same thing going on with all of these power poles. And you could question, is that the sun and the heat from the sun doing that? Or is that an electricity overload? And essentially it doesn't matter. Those are both part of the same problem. The flashing light phenomenon in the United States is directly related to the plasma fire phenomenon. Plasma fire is electricity coming up through the ground. Geomagnetic induction, a fluctuation in the magnetic field, creates a surge of ground current that produces trees to burn from the inside and the flickering lights, what Mr. MB3 calls dirty electricity, and this is a third symptom of the same phenomenon. And those are actually solar-powered streetlights that are not hooked up to an electrical grid. They get their electricity strictly from those solar panels that are burning. So if it's an electricity overload, it's not coming from the wires and the electrical grid that they're hooked up to, because it doesn't appear that they are hooked up to an electrical grid.
Regions like Shanxi, Henan, Hubei, and Hunan have been the core hot zones, with some areas experiencing heat index suffering from extreme temperatures. Regions like Shanxi, Henan, Hubei, and Hunan have been the core hot zones, with some areas experiencing heat index temperatures above 45 degrees Celsius.
They just showed you a reading of 74 degrees Celsius when he's measuring the temperature of the ground beneath his feet. 74 degrees Celsius is 165 degrees Fahrenheit.
Swept across the country in July broke historical records, even reaching the typically cooler northeastern regions. The extreme heat followed.
So the way the hood of this car is all bubbled up is due to the heat?
1743. Wuhan, often referred to as one of China's furnace cities, also saw temperatures spike 1 degrees Celsius on July 25th, 1743. Wuhan, often referred to as one of China's furnace cities, also saw temperatures spike
我地理学得不太好. I'm not great at geography, but is Wuhan on the equator? But is Wuhan on the equator? How can it be this hot? I've only been outside for 2 hours.
The solar-powered streetlights caught fire on their own. It's terrifying. The flames just kept getting bigger. Don't even ask how hot it is in Zhengzhou. Just look at Wuhan. One man cracked an egg on the hood of a black car and it cooked instantly in the sun. In Henan, residents report their window glass was so hot it felt like it could break, and now Xi'an is facing similar conditions.
Hey
tourists, take a look at how hot it is in Xi'an. Our glass is already cracked from the heat. It's 43 degrees outside. This large window will be a hassle to replace.
Can you stay outside in Chengdu in this weather? Oh my, the tiles are so hot they're burning. Heat. Can you stay outside in Chengdu in this weather? Oh my, the tiles are so hot they're burning. Heat.
Just so you don't miss it, notice a piece of the tile breaks away while he's filming it. Just so you didn't miss that detail. We'll turn the volume down so you're not distracted by the noise. I'll shut up and watch as the tile breaks right before your eyes. Nothing was dropped there. They even show you replay. Bam. And then they show you how the weather rapidly shifted from 115 degrees to pouring rains with high winds, tearing stuff up.
16th at 4 p.m., a storm hit Sichuan County in Nanyang, Henan Province. The strong winds caused significant damage, knocking down large trees, buildings, and vehicles. The footage shows debris flying in the strong winds, with everything in disarray.
Feed your family. Online commenters were stunned, noting that just this morning it was a sweltering 42 degrees Celsius and now the storm had arrived in the afternoon. The sudden weather change was truly baffling. It's not just Hunan. On July 17th, Chongqing also experienced strong winds and heavy rainfall.
Look at this. The rain in Huangshui is so intense. Oh my, this is incredible.
There's another part where they show you a lady walking in high heels, and the heel leaves an imprint in the asphalt with every step. And they talk about the animals that are dying, from fish to birds. They're all succumbing to the heat. I'll leave the link in the description so you can watch it for yourself, but I wanted to point out that it looks like the comment section here has been flooded with bots. They all leave pretty much the same comment, some word for word. If cars melt at 122 degrees Fahrenheit, it means they use 3D printed parts. Plastic melts at that temp. OPLA plastic melts at that temp. While normal ABS plastic can withstand over 220 degrees Fahrenheit, it's just the Chinese people doing cost cutting. Roads should not split like that. Oh, I forgot to show you the road. Okay, I can't actually find the video part, but here I'll just point out a couple more things that they point out. Over here on the right is the road buckling up. They have video of that road busting in an upward direction as it happens. Here in the center, you see the bumper of the car melting. They have multiple other examples of that as well. Here on the left, you can see what looks like her face mask impression on her face from the shade, and the sunburn creates the outline of the face mask that she apparently wears during the day outside. That's what I'm guessing there. Link will be in the description. You can watch the video. And if you notice right below this video, Europe heat wave kills over 2,000 in 10 days. This isn't the sun as we've always known it. So people who say, what are you, a pussy? It's just a little sun. They just don't know. This isn't the sun as we've always known it. This is something different. So there's this movie made back in 2003 called Code 46, and it's a dystopian future movie where the whole world speaks a combination of English, Spanish, and Mandarin Chinese, and they all live in these large metropolitan cities, AI operated, that kind of thing. The Sphinx knows best. The Sphinx is a reference to that AI which runs their society. But they work and operate at night and sleep during the day because it's gotten so hot, no one can bear the sun. No one can bear to live outside. And in this image where you see her wearing the shawl over her head, that's because she got ejected from the city and she has to live afuera. Afuera in Spanish means outside. And people who live afuera die in the heat, a slow, painful, miserable death. Because the sun has gotten so hot, no one can stand to work in it or play in it or even sit in it for more than a couple of minutes. So they go about their daily lives as soon as the sun goes down, and by the time the sun comes up, they're back indoors in the air conditioner going to sleep. We've reached such a point in our society. It's just a matter of how quick people come to acknowledge and accept and recognize it for what it is, or how long they keep saying, what, it's just the sun? In Arizona, the road work is done at night and has been that way for years. In Arizona, they've already caught on that it's going to be a lot more productive if you just bring out a lot of big lights and do the work at night. So the state-run road crews work at night, strictly, exclusively at night, never during the day. It's not a matter of traffic. It's a matter of the unbearable heat during the day in Arizona makes it more practical to work at night. Well, that kind of practice is going to have to spread. But there's going to be a slow uptake and an acknowledgement and recognition due to normalcy bias. People think, oh, today's going to be like yesterday and tomorrow's going to be like today, and everything falls on this normalcy curve with very little change or variation. And they prefer to see everything as normal. Everything's as it always has been, and it will be in the future as it is now. Normalcy bias will prevent them from realizing something has changed. So back to the comments and how it seems like the bots have flooded this comment section. The first one I already read you. Oh, they're just doing cost-cutting measures. The second one, roads should not split like that. Tires should not melt. Glass should not crack. There are hotter places in the world which do not have these problems. The problem is cheap Chinese-made materials, poor products, tofu infrastructure. That word is repeated multiple times along with the word dreg, like an AI bot is inserting these comments. When you make things out of recycled foam and plastic, you get melty things. It's 39 degrees Celsius, 101 Fahrenheit here in South Texas, and the only thing melting is the ice in my tea. Not the roads, not shoes, no breaking glass, no exploding cars. I'd be interested in knowing what the radiation levels are. In the Philippines, temperatures go up to 44 degrees Celsius, but we never had this problem. Looks like they use inferior materials. After the heat wave is gone, the floods will come. Remember, the hotter it is, the more moisture there is trapped in the air. When it cools, the rains will happen. Pollution in the sky can increase temperatures. The reason these cars are melting because they are tofu dreg cars. I lived a few dozen miles outside Death Valley for a few years, and my car never melted. My car is 127 degrees Fahrenheit, no AC, and my car is not having issues. Chinese people should not adopt a Mediterranean lifestyle when it's so hot. Work early in the morning, and in the cooler hours of the evening, stay in the shade and sleep during the heat of the day. Every day I give thanks to the universe that I was not born in China, and I was not living in China. I was not living on tofu dreg land. Notice the commonality in all of these, and I've just gone through the first few. They're all blaming the people themselves and their manufacturing practices, diverting attention away from the changing environment that once was just a few short years ago. Psychological operations going on in the comment sections.
This summer, the intense heat hasn't just made people sweat, it's also exposed the weakness of electric vehicles. Electricity prices have soared, and what used to be, in many places, temperatures have gone above 40 degrees Celsius, and ground temperatures have gone above 40 degrees Celsius, and ground temperatures have reached as high as 82 degrees Celsius. When combined with
82 degrees Celsius is 179 point something in Fahrenheit. Pretty much 180 degrees.
high humidity and strong sunlight, it creates a true sauna effect. This kind of heat wave is rare in China's history, wide-reaching, intense, and long-lasting. It's taking a serious toll on daily life, farming, energy supply, and public health. Recently, due to extreme heat, many car hoods have started to balloon up, catching the attention of netizens. People have been commenting, "This shape looks pretty cool. If you didn't know, you might think the car is pregnant. How do you even drive with the front all blocked like that? I thought it was a new car model that day." He contacted someone to replace the glass, but since it was so hot, they were too busy and would come the next day. According to an official notice from Henan, the heat will persist, with road temperatures exceeding 72 degrees Celsius. Drivers are advised to be cautious would come the next day. According to an official notice from Henan, the heat will persist, with road temperatures exceeding 72 degrees Celsius. Drivers are advised to be cautious on the roads and be aware of the risk of tire blowouts. Another person confirmed the heat, saying, "I just got home last night, killed a chicken at noon, and just had another one die from the heat. I can't even eat it all." On July 15th, a reporter in Zhengzhou tested the temperature on the road. They placed a frying pan on the ground and cracked an egg, added a few large shrimp and some pork belly. After an hour of direct sunlight, the thermometer broke, reading over 70 degrees Celsius. The egg solidified, the shrimp turned red, and the pork was partially cooked. On July 16th, another netizen in Henan tried to fry an egg on the asphalt. Within moments, the egg started sizzling, and the egg whites began to solidify, with little bubbles popping up around the edges. This extreme heat test quickly went viral.
The combination of high heat and humidity makes it difficult for the body to cool down, increasing the risk of heat stroke.
赛前出了一个状况。
Someone else who included a quick 30-second blurb in one of their videos a week ago showed a guy on one of these scooters pulling up to a stop sign and keeling over, just falling right over onto the ground, having his bike fall over like he seized up. Not like he went into convulsions of a seizure, like he just seized up. Whether it was a heat stroke or whatever, it's taken its toll on people.
Chenzhou is hotter than Africa.
Additionally, in Xinxiang, Henan, 5 domesticated white geese died from the heat in a pond. On July 14th, Mr. Zhang, a manor owner, spoke about the extreme heat in Henan. He said, even the geese in the water can't survive this heat. The water temperature is around 50 to 60 degrees Celsius. He mentioned that the thermometer on the farm had bent from the heat. After raising geese for more than 10 years, this was the first time it lasted for several days and caused domestic geese to die from the heat. China is currently experiencing extreme high temperatures, with many regions surpassing 40 degrees Celsius, areas with temperatures above 35 degrees Celsius. On the afternoon of July 8th, a video posted by a netizen from Chongqing showed an air conditioner's external unit suddenly catching fire and emitting thick smoke. During the summer heat, many families run their air conditioners on a 24-hour cycle. The machines and electrical systems are overloaded, leading to short circuits and other dangerous problems. On July 15th, a blogger from Chongqing mentioned,
It's the name of Furnace City. I'm done.
In Xi'an, the temperature was so high that the asphalt on the streets melted. When the kickstand of an electric bicycle was placed on the ground, it sank right in. The outdoor temperature reached 61.2 degrees Celsius. Starting from July 15th,
They said the outdoor temperature reached 62 degrees Celsius. Surely they must be talking about the asphalt, because that's 143 degrees, and if they're referring to the air temperature, then it's not just, oh, cheap Chinese-made products.
repairs after the warranty period. Mr. Liu, a glass installer, mentioned, in the past 2 months, I've replaced more than 60 windows, about 1 a day. That's 4 times more than usual.
Hangzhou is currently the hottest place in China, with temperatures reaching over 39 degrees. The surface temperature is said to be around 40 degrees. A thermometer test revealed that the temperature under direct sunlight reached 74.7 degrees, with white cars registering 65.5 degrees, grey cars 79.6 degrees, and black cars 89.4 degrees, nearing 90 degrees. Darker colored cars absorb more heat. Electric bikes.
The surface of that black car reached 89 point something degrees Celsius, nearly 90 degrees Celsius. 90 degrees Celsius is 194 Fahrenheit. Right there, black car's 89.4 degrees Celsius. 190 some odd degrees.
Cars registering 65.5 degrees, grey cars 79.6 degrees, and black cars 89.4 degrees, nearing 90 degrees. Darker colored cars
Hot. In a video, a blogger was seen wearing a DIY lotus leaf sunshade mask, and it quickly sparked a lot of comments. Some joked that it looked like the stem wasn't removed, making her look like a mosquito. Others pointed out that it wasn't that people couldn't afford a sunshade mask, it was just that the lotus leaf mask offered more value for the price. This year's high temperatures have been...
That movie, Code 46, came out in 2003. In 2004, Sarah McLachlan put out this song called World on Fire. And in this song and the music video, World on Fire, here's one of the lyrics. We part the veil on our killer sun. So, we're now seeing the effects of what scientists were able to detect with their highly sensitive instruments 20 years ago, which was leading these people to make movies like Code 46 or songs like World on Fire, because they could detect the early onset, the first signs of our magnetic field failing us. We part the veil on our killer sun is a reference to the magnetic field that shields us from its killer aspects. And now it's to the point where you don't need some highly sensitive scientific instruments to detect that veil has been parted. You can see it happening all around us. And there is an effort to keep people from noticing it for as long as possible by doing things like pointing to cheap products from those tofu dregs. Yeah, America. I'll include the link in the description to this song, this particular music video that shows the lyrics and gives some good imagery to go with it. This will be the muse message that accompanies this video. One final thought on those comments about how it's just cheap Chinese-made junk that's melting. They dismiss the fact that these are trees spontaneously combusting. They show you one and tell you multiple others have done the same thing, and you can see with your own eyes that it's burning on the inside by the way it's coming up out of that upper branch, and they tell you it's still burning on the inside. We're going to need some more water. And again, those comments about how it's just cheap Chinese-made junk, those are bot comments, repeating the word tofu and drag multiple times within the first 5 comments. That's not natural. That's not organic. Those are bots, but those bots have been programmed to insert those comments for the American consumer. This video content is packaged for the American consumer, who they think is so dumb that they'll read those comments about how it's just cheap Chinese-made junk and dismiss the fact that the trees are combusting by themselves. What are these, just cheap Chinese-made trees? I live here in Texas and my trees ain't spontaneously combusting. Hoorah! Red, white, and blue. I got those good old Texan John Wayne trees. It's just those cheap Chinese trees that spontaneously combust. Those are bots. The comments are created for the consumption of the low IQ American consumer, who probably does not even notice. Wait a minute, if the trees are catching on fire, this isn't just a matter of low-grade plastic. I'll end my rant there.